There he is in last year's state championship game, a game Mogadore lost to Marion Local. The Wildcats are looking for their third state title. They hung championship banners back in 1979 and 1996. But undefeated Hardin Northern knocked off the two-time defending state champs Marion Local in the regional final. The Polar Bears are giving up just 8 points a game this season. Northern is in the state final for the first time in school history. Hardin Northern and Mogadore face off for the D6 title this afternoon at 3:30 live right here on ONN. Last year, Macedonia-Nordonia went 3-7. This season, the Knights are in the Division II state championship game. Senior running back Dan Macon has rushed for 2,000 yards and scored 17 TDs. Tonight's opponent, Dayton Chaminade Julienne, a 1-2 punch. Anthony Turner has thrown for 1,800 yards. Javon Ringer has run for 1,600 yards. Dayton Chaminade Julienne and Nordonia are both in the state title game for the first time, and you can see which team wins its first state title when the Eagles and the Knights do battle tonight at 8 right here on ONN. But right now, we're going to check out the Division VI state championship game from Canton Fawcett Stadium. Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll see you back here in the studio at halftime.
Imagine growing your career by planting seeds of humanity. Kent State graduate student nurses and translation students work together at a clinic for migrant farm families. The nurses deliver primary health care while the foreign language students handle translation. Experience that achieves a higher standard of success in higher education. Imagine. Kent State University. Call or visit us on the web.
It's a holiday tradition.
Oh, there's no place like home.
Time Life brings you the treasury of Christmas.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Chestnuts roasting on an
The
open
Time Life treasury of Christmas on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas.
You'll get 46 holiday favorites.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Sigh.
Each song brings you the wonder of Christmas.
Have yourself a
So call now and enjoy the treasury of Christmas.
Call 1-800-905-0077 to order Treasury of Christmas for just $26.99 plus shipping, or send check or money order to the address on your screen. Call now or go to timelife.com.
Don't you wish morning news shows had more news? From its new home, American Morning with Paula Zahn brings you hard news reporting.
Do you think war is inevitable?
From last night to right now to what's next.
This is a permanent shutdown.
Get breaking news, top interviews, in-depth coverage, and some surprises, too.
I knew you'd slip that one in there.
A morning show with real news. American Morning with Paula Zahn.
This segment of ONN News is brought to you by Bloomberg Eye Center.
After 2 consecutive years of frustration in the state finals, Mogadore hopes that a change of venue will bring the Wildcats their third title. For Hardin Northern, it's their first trip to the final game, and after knocking off the defending champions, they're the new Wildcat Nemesis. It's the Wildcats and Polar Bears fighting for the right to be called Division VI state champions, only on ONN.
Michael Doss gives Kent McKinley a 27-10 lead. He bounces off a defender. He's going to go in for the touchdown. Dave Gretzky. Dave!
Cleveland St. Ignatius has won their 9th state title.
Now, the tradition continues. The Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio News Network present the Ohio High School Football Championship.
Go 32 teams began the road to the championship, and now there are only 2. It's 5th-ranked Mogadore and 4th-ranked Hardin Northern vying for the Division VI state championship. We welcome you in for the first time today into Fawcett Stadium, adjacent to the Pro Football Hall of Fame here in Canton. It's the Division VI state championship game. I'm Tim Bray, and let's bring in wide receiver of the Ohio State Buckeyes, D. Miller. And D, Mogadore's here for the third consecutive year. Hardin Northern kind of did them a favor, knocking off Maria Stein, Marion Local, who's won the last two games. They don't have to play them this year.
Right. I think after talking with Coach Pollock, I think he felt more relaxed, even though they've knocked them off 2 years in a row. They really had no problem with Hardin Northern knocking off Marion Local, so they could try to bring a state championship home to Mogadore.
Well, the Polar Bears average giving up just 7.6 points per game, and I'll tell you what, they can stand on their own 2 feet.
Well, talking to Coach Bruno, I think the power lies on their defense. They've had 39 takeaways this season. No one has scored more than 17 points on them, so I think they feel very confident with their defense.
All right, you got the Polar Bears with really stingy defense, and then you got Mogadore that could win a first state championship. A closer look at this game when we come back to Fawcett Stadium at Canton in just a moment.
It's rare to find a bank that works to save me money, but Mark at National City showed me that when I have my home equity loan payments deducted from my National City checking account, I'd actually lower my loan's interest rate.
I was single, low on capital, and starting my own company, but that didn't stop Elaine at National City from getting me what I needed. Now my business is growing, and Elaine is still my banker.
I got a new job in a new city. I wanted to bank when and where it was convenient for me. Gary at National City took care of me. I've got ATMs everywhere, free checking, a Visa check card, and online banking. Gary understood me, but that's no surprise, because the people at National City don't see me like this. They see me for who I really am. I'm Brian Spencer, and my bank is National City.
I'm Linda Murphy, and my bank is National City.
I'm Robert Sanchez, and my bank is National City.
You reach a certain age, and it just hits you.
I'm not getting any younger.
You're carrying the weight of more responsibilities than ever before.
So, I have to work harder and plan better. Because it's not just about me anymore.
In fact, it's not too much of a stretch to say that your Grange independent agent
is the best advisor I could ask for when it comes to my life insurance.
They'll show you how your coverage can keep pace with
our assets and our mortgage. There's more there than you think.
Without even breaking a sweat.
The Mogadore Wildcats coming out onto the field here at Fawcett Stadium as they will battle today Hardin Northern. And welcome back to Canton, everybody, as Mogadore 13-1 representing the Portage County League. They drove over today, dressed at the school. They're about 25 minutes away. Hardin Northern, on the other hand, came up very early this morning, and the Polar Bears are here for the very first time. D, let's take a look at some of the talented players that are going to be playing in today's game. And for Mogadore and Scott Pollock, you got their horse in the backfield, Tommy Lee. What a player.
He's a big-time player. As I look at his stats, he has 345 rushes for 24, 88 yards, 32 touchdowns, Division VI Player of the Year. So I'm kind of anxious to see how he's going to adjust to the state championship, and hopefully he can come out and make some big plays.
Yeah, he's a first-team All-Stater for the last 2 years and the Division VI Offensive Player of the Year. And for Hardin Northern, this is a talented team and led by Drew Snow. He's a 6-foot, 195-pound senior, and this guy's got all the tools, too.
Well, yeah, he's a stud on both sides of the ball. I think on offense is his strength, though, where he has 1,875 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, and 40 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. So I think he scored over 244 points. I'm looking for a big game from him.
All right, we'll be back with a kickoff of today's game, Division VI, when we return to Canton in just a moment.
My personal goal is to make LASIK affordable for everyone, not just for the rich and famous. I've had countless patients tell me that they could not have spent their money in a better way than with LASIK, because now they don't have the hassle of contacts or glasses. It's safe, professional, and affordable. Don't miss this life-changing opportunity.
I take web courses from Columbus State. can do it whenever you want. You can go home and sit at your own computer and you can eat while you're doing it.
You can sometimes fit them into your schedule better.
If you can get away from class, you can't get away from the internet. It's everywhere.
You don't have to worry about, oh no, I have to be there at, 10 o'clock exactly.
There's a lot of resources on the web that you can use.
You just get out of bed and oblivious to the world, you go to the computer and start doing your work. I can wear my jammies. I can wear my best dress. It really doesn't matter. No one ever sees me. I really love my classroom.
When the weather in Ohio turns cold, turn on ONN.
Snow has hit the Buckeye
Using our
State.
exclusive Ohio Doppler net radar, the ONN weather team will track cold fronts and snowstorms across the state, right down to your street. With statewide futurecast, ONN will show you tomorrow's weather right now. And when winter weather strikes, only ONN is here with statewide school closings, road and travel conditions, and airport delays. When Ohio weather turns cold, turn on ONN's Doppler net weather on the 10s.
Well, Hardin Northern won the toss and deferred, and Mogadore will receive the opening kickoff of this Division VI state championship game. And kicking off for the Hardin Northern Polar Bears will be Jason Wyrock. He is a 6'2 junior, 62 points this season. He also is their field goal kicker. Here's the temperature at 40 degrees. Not a bad day, but the wind is going to be a factor in today's game, and we'll get into that as we proceed. Roth, Wagner, and Lee are back deep for Mogadore. They're in the green and white, and we're all set to go in the Division VI state championship game, and it's a high and end over again kick coming down to Lee at the 2-yard line. He'll come near side with it. He has a hole. 25 and now to the 30. Down the sideline in front of the Hardin Northern bench, and he's all the way up to the 37-yard line as Tommy Lee brings it back, and Craig McMillan knocked him out of bounds. Here's the starting lineups for Mogadore, and they are brought to you by Donato's. Charlie Molnar is the quarterback. Lee, who brought the kickback, is the key player, and Roth and Wagner are the ends for Mogadore here this afternoon. And the offensive line led by their center, Roger Smith, and he is a good one. So it's 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line, a full house backfield, and Molnar to throw first play, and it's long and deep, and it's incomplete, and Mike Wagner was the intended receiver at the 30-yard line. That is an excellent throw. They wanted to go all the way. Here's the defensive starting lineup for Hardin Northern, and brought to you by Donato's. And the Them brothers are on one side, Ridgeway in the middle, and the 5-2, Walter and Folks on the right side of Hardin Northern's club on the front line. Jason Wyrock and Drew Snow are the linebackers. We'll get you the deep backs in a second. Here's Lee with a quick pitch, and on second down, he gets up to about the 40-yard line, and that is it. Michael Ridgway makes the tackle on the play. And here is the secondary for the Hardin Northern Polar Bears. Jason McBride and Kyle Dahl, along with Greg McMillan and Matt Price. So those are the guys that, if Mogadore puts it up, they will be the ones that try to bring it down. And here we got the first third down of the ball game. It comes at the 40-yard line, and Molnar rolls right, and he hands back off up the middle, and that play gains just about 5 yards, and it is Craig Lorenz, the fullback, but he did not get the first down, a couple of yards short. And Jason Wyrock makes the tackle on the play. And Scott Pollock's got a decision to make early, D.
Well, here goes the stingy defense we was talking about of Harding Northern. They came out and forced Mogadore to point the first series, so we're going to see how they try to make this punt into points.
And it is Molnar, the punter, and he will come on to kick it away, and it's a good high kick, and it's coming down to McMillan at the 20-yard line for the Polar Bears, and he's not going to gain anything, and he's wrapped up and dropped at the 18-yard line. And making the play is Robert Pickering.
It was great coverage right there. That's what you wanted out of your special teams during the state game, and they came out and forced Harding Northern to take a loss on this punt return. So I think they're trying to come out and force something big on defense.
So quickly, Hardin Northern will come out for their first series of the football game. They go 3 and out. They force the possession, and they start at the 18-yard line. And Clay Bruno is the quarterback. He is the junior son of Pete Bruno, the head coach of the Polar Bears. They come out in twins to the near sideline and hand it off to Drew Snow. He's the man that is the key ingredient for this Hardin Northern Polar Bear team. And let's take a look at the starting lineups for Hardin Northern on offense, brought to you by Donato's. And there you see the backs and receivers. Bruno is the quarterback, Snow the fullback, McMillan and Price in the backfield, and Plogger and Thames are the outside receivers. The big guys on the offensive line, 6 foot 216. That's what they average, led by Rob Walter, the center. And here's the full house backfield on 2nd down and 10. And Bruno the throw for the first time, and he will fire it. And it is incomplete, and a flag comes down. They tried to get Wyatt Thames, and Thames was tripped on the play.
I think that was a good call. That's why I seen Thames and going at it with number 13. He had his hands on him a little bit, so I think that was a good call by the referee.
And that is Mike Roth, the senior, and here it is again. And he got tripped up, and that is a penalty. It'll be the first penalty of the football game. It'll go against Mogadore, and they will march off 15 yards. It's on first down.
On the defense. First down.
Tom Cahill is our referee. He's from Rocky River, Ohio. A 25th year officiating high school football games. And Tom Cahill, you'll hear his voice throughout the ball game today. Hardin Northern 14-0 on the season. Mogadore comes in at 13-1. And I tell you, everybody in northwestern Ohio were raving about the win over Marion Local in the regional final, 26-16. It's 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line, and they bring 3 wide receivers to the near sideline. Everybody on the short side and put a man in motion, and they give it to Bruno. And he gets to about the 40-yard line, and that is it. Bruno and Mike Roth makes the stop on the play. Here's the starting defensive unit, brought to you by Donato's. And Mogadore starts with a 4-3 look. Bowen and Haynes are the 2 guys in the middle. Those are the 2 tackles. The defensive linebackers, they have 3. Pollock, Shoemaker, and Lee. And that middle linebacker is going to have to play some football here this afternoon. Roth and Wagner are the 2 cornerbacks, and the 2 guys in the middle are Pickering and Lawrence. And the handoff goes up the middle, a gain of a couple, and that is about it for Drew Snow in the middle. And it is once again Kyle Pollock who makes the tackle on the play.
34, Noah Schumacher.
Mogadore seems to be playing good defense. I think that's what you need to start off the ball game. I think you need to come out and put out a signal that you're not going to let anyone run over you. And I think Scott Pollock is doing a good job with that team.
And once again, here's a 3rd down play, and this time it's the first opportunity for the Polar Bears. Remember, they got the penalty on the pass interference to get up to the 42-yard line. So 3rd and 2. And they go with their money guy, and that is Snow, and he is short. He gained 1 of the 2 yards, and that is all. Tommy Lee makes the tackle on the play. He is one of their linebackers.
Mogadore is coming out, and they're playing very well. They have a nice crowd out here, and they're making big plays early in the game. That's what you need to succeed in the state championship final.
And so Mogadore has forced the punt by the Polar Bears, and it'll be Jason Wyrock in to kick it away, and they will send back Wagner and Roth. Roth is on the left, and on the right is Mike Roth. A low kick, and it's picked up by Roth. He'll make something happen. He breaks 2 tackles, and he's dropped at the 20-yard line, and that is it. So there's a timeout on the field. 7:43 to play in the first quarter. No score, Mogadore and Hardin Northern.
Chicken special with a side of corn.
For a menu that's always at the peak of freshness, count on your local family farmer. Ohio Agriculture. Keep a good thing growing.
And the chicken special.
In Ohio, there is 1 hour of news that makes a difference. 1 hour of news that gives you more. ONN's Primetime Ohio at 10 o'clock is the one newscast that goes beyond headlines and sound bites to deliver local news that means something to your life. Primetime Ohio at 10 o'clock brings you thoughtful stories, in-depth reports, and your local weather forecast every 10 minutes. One newscast from Ohio's one 24-hour cable news channel. Primetime Ohio at 10 o'clock on ONN. All Ohio, all the time.
This is the Peace Corps today.
Different people, different skills, one common goal.
Redefine your world. Join the Peace Corps.
Apply now at peacecorps.gov.
Just getting started in this Division 6 state championship game. First quarter, no score. Scott Pollock's club will come out for the second time here on offense. We saw a little bit of what we expected to see, and that is a wide open attack, and Tommy Lee featured a couple of times. They tried to go long on the first time. There's your comparison of the two teams as we get Lee with the first carry of this possession. 11 point, well, the average is good, and these two teams are very similar, 4th and 5th ranked in the state. Mogadore at 13-1. Hardin Northern is undefeated with 5 shutouts, so they're very tough up the middle, especially Thames and Ridgeway and Walter. Those are the guys in the 5-2. It's a full house backfield, and Scott Pollard told us earlier they run out of this a lot. Here's Lee breaking tackles. Will he get the first down of the ball game for Mogadore? It's just a little bit short, out to the 30-yard line. He may have got that first down. Pretty hard running, D.
Oh, yeah. You know, he's been running hard all season. I think he's not going to let that stop right now. He's going to bring home a championship to his school senior year. So I believe he'll come out and continue to run hard.
Tommy Lee with over 2,400 yards this season. And there's a official timeout on the field as the officials are going to bring in the sticks because they want to find out if this is a first down or not. Tommy Lee is the Division 6 Offensive Player of the Year, and he's a little taller than I thought he was. He's 6'2". He's 230 pounds, and he's a senior. A lot of teams are looking at him, a lot of colleges in the mid-major or high mid-major level.
He was talking to Scott Pollock. He said a lot of the back schools are recruiting him, and I think he's going to go out there and hopefully continue to be successful wherever route he goes.
That is a first down at the 30-yard line for Tommy Lee and this Mogadore Wildcat team. 3rd time that they've been in the state finals, and honestly, the other 2 times they were embarrassed, and they'll tell you that. And they want to make sure that they represent their community well here this afternoon, and they have a great chance. Molnar brings them up to the line of scrimmage, and once again, it's that full house backfield, and it's Lee off left tackle. He gains 5 as he dives ahead to the 35-yard line. Tommy Lee has carried the ball 345 times this season, so we're going to see a lot of him today.
Yeah, I think the offense is starting to settle down. They both came out. Both sides have the ball, and the jitters are out, and they're ready to play football.
Jason Wyrock makes the stop on the play. The junior has had 57 tackles this year. Splitbacks this time. Lee with the pitch. He is drilled, and there's a flag down at the 35-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage. Brett Thames and Drew Snow make the tackle on the play. It's a hold against Mogadore, and that'll wipe that play out.
It's a very stingy defense by Hardin Northern. We talked about that at the beginning of the game. They're focusing on Lee, so I think they're going to have to try another route or find another way to get this man the ball because they're focused on him right
holding
now.
That's a
on
holding
the offense.
call.
10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Well, it'll be 2nd down and long here, and Mogadore has been in this position before. They are going to try to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're trying to do it with Tommy Lee, their senior. And there's Charlie Molnar coming back in, and he perhaps will toss this one as he comes out and split backs. It's 2nd down and 15 from the 25-yard line. He puts a man in motion, and he will go over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tried to get Mike Wagner right over the middle, down the hash mark, and it's incomplete. It'll be 3rd down.
Right to play selection, I think it took a little longer to hit the tight end up the seam, so trying to see what they're going to try to do to complete the 3rd and 15, which is going to be hard to complete.
Well, a lot of times you just try for field position at this position. He almost made this play. Just missed it right up over the top. And so now a shotgun formation and maybe a punt. It's a punt on 3rd down as he just dropped back and kicked it. You can kick on any down, and they will down the football at the 40-yard line. And so that is where it'll be 1st and 10. Robert Pickering stops the football from bouncing back to midfield, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Hardin Northern. That's a little surprise. Just kick it out of there.
Yeah, I think they want to battle for the field position, and I think Hardin Northern is about to come out. They came out one time before, hopefully the jitters is out and see how they handle this offensive series.
Well, Hardin Northern had the ball on the 37, and now they have their ball on their own 40-yard line. Clay Bruno brings them up, and they split the backs this time, and one receiver to the near sideline, and that is McMillan. McMillan, 50, down the sidelines, 40, 30, 20. Can he run to the end zone? He cannot outrun the free safety. He will be out of bounds at the 2-yard line, but a big-time play by Craig McMillan. He got the corner and down the sidelines.
Very, very big play. I think everyone was focused on Drew Snow. They faked it to him and handed it to number 25. He went down and made a big play.
Mike Wagner knocked him out of bounds. He had some wheels coming over there, D.
Yeah, and I think this all goes back to Coach Bruno's game plan. He wanted to make plays on offense and let his defense continue to be stingy. So we're going to see how this goes on throughout the game.
59 yards, and it's a 1st and goal, and they will give it to Snow. He walks in, touchdown. Drew Snow with his 43rd touchdown of the season, and Hardin Northern is on the board first.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
Oh, it is. That 59-yard run by McMillan sets up the touchdown from the 2-yard line, and the Polar Bears are making things happen here early.
Well, big players make big plays in big games, and they came out and they made a couple good calls by the offensive coordinator, and now they're up 6-0, about to be 7-0. So I'm anxious to see how Mogadore reacts on this offensive series.
Extra point is good by Wyrock, and there's a 7-0 score, and this was an easy one. Little counter.
And yeah, it was right there on a 1 or 2 yard line. They just give it to the bread and butter that he's been carrying the load for him all season. So why stop now?
Drew Snow puts it in the end zone, and it is 7-0 Hardin Northern with 5.5 minutes to play here in this first quarter. That's a surprise. I thought Mogadore would start quicker than this, to be honest. But the Polar Bear defense is setting up their offense.
Well, yeah, I believe their best offense is their defense. I believe that Mogadore needs to come out and establish some type of run with Lee, and hopefully they can get some points up on the board.
So quite a run by Craig McMillan to set that touchdown up. A 2-yard run by Drew Snow, and this Mogadore team's got their work cut out for them now. They trail 7-0, and here is the scoring drive. Just 2 plays, 61 yards. It took 13 seconds. A 2-yard run by Drew Snow, but kudos to Craig McMillan, Drew.
Yeah, that was a very special play. He set this touchdown up, and I believe if Mogadore wants to stay in this game, they're going to have to compete harder on the defensive side.
2-yard run by Drew Snow, and Jason Wyrock is about to kick it away again, and in the middle is Tommy Lee in the green and white.
He's their all-American workhorse, so he's on everything.
He is.
Yeah, talking to Coach Pollock, I mean, this man, he feels the best way to win this game, he needs to be on the field all the time.
Tommy Lee will take this one at his own 7-yard line. The wall's to the far side, but it closes in a big-time hurry right at about the 19-yard line. And Wyatt Thames makes the tackle on the play. Hey, if you're going to play at the Division 6 level, you're going to have to play every down, whether it be offense, defense, or special teams. There's more championship football tonight at 8 when the Division 2 matchup between Macedonia Nordonia and Dayton Chaminade Julienne takes place only on the Ohio News Network. Chaminade Julienne, a very good football team out of Dayton. And here is Tommy Lee breaking tackles from the 21-yard line. He will gain about 7.
I feel like they're going to just keep giving him the ball until he eventually gets his workload up. But he seems to be making more and more yards each carry, so hopefully he's getting warmed up, and that's a good sign for Mogadore.
Clay Bruno made the stop on the play for Hardin Northern. It'll be 2nd down and 3 after the gain of 7.
Very impressed by this Hardin Northern defense. They're very disciplined. Great coaching by Coach Bruno.
Well, this time it's the I-back, and that is Robert Pickering. And Pickering tried to take the ball up behind Tommy Lee that time and didn't gain much at all, maybe a half a yard.
I think they're just trying to just play around with the offense a little bit. They know everyone's focused on Tommy Lee, so they have to find another way for one of their playmakers to get the ball, and that's what they seem to be doing.
Robert Pickering also can play wide receiver. Jason Wyrock right there in the middle of your screen. He is a load, and he is one of the top wide receivers and also linebackers on this club. He can also kick and punt and everything else. Tommy Lee gets close to a first down. He needed to the 31-yard line.
Defense is very, very stingy, so I think they're going to have to make most of their opportunities and try to get some more better field position as the game continues on.
Rob Walter, one of the defensive tackles, makes the play for Hardin Northern. So 1st and 10 as they move the chains for the second time this afternoon. Again, the full house. Onar will swing it. That's Lee. Nice stop and go, and he takes it north and south, and that's actually Pickering. And that's a good move. And you being a former wide receiver, you know how quickly you have to stop to change directions.
Yeah, what's most important with that catch was the yards after the catch. He caught the ball and made a move inside, and I think that's the best token of being a wide receiver. It's not just only making the catch, but making yards after the catch.
6 yards on the completed pass, and it's 2nd down and 4. Call it the 37-yard line. Slot man on the left side this time. Lee's in motion. He'll get it. And they've seen that play before. Hardin Northern fumble. Lee dropped the football. Wyrock picks it up, and it's Hardin Northern with a short field.
Another takeaway. We've been talking all day about the 39 takeaways from Hardin Northern and GC number.
Well, they were just pounding the ball in there, and it looked like it was Michael Ridgway, who's only a freshman, who popped that ball out of there with a big-time stick.
As you continue to watch football these days, you see more and more players going for the ball as they make the tackle, and that's what happened on that case there.
And it is 1st and 10. Here's Drew Snow running over people at the 30-yard line, and they credited Kyle Dahl for forcing that football and Wyrock picking it up. So first turnover of the football game, and it's first time that Hardin Northern has started into Mogadore territory, and they have thrived on short fields all season.
I think this is going to be a game of field position. Coach Bruno said they really don't make that many big plays, but the plays that they do make, they want to make the most of them, and they're coming out doing a good job just with the turnover, and hopefully can turn the turnover into points.
Big plays on short fields. I mean, that's easily done. Bruno looking to throw, fires it, incomplete. He had plenty of pressure put on him. The guys up front were really pounding Clay Bruno.
He had a lot of pressure that series right there. He came out. He's staying real relaxed to me, though. He's very cool and calm. That's what you want to see out your quarterback. He didn't panic. He got rid of the ball. Fortunately, the receiver didn't make the catch.
John McAvenue was right on top of him. Watch him come into the screen, and he put a lick on Clay Bruno. He'll know where he is. And timeout wanted. This time, Hardin Northern takes timeout with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play here in this first quarter. And they have a 7-0 lead. And so far, it has been field position D and taking advantage of a long, big play, that 59-yard run by Craig McMillan.
Yes, most definitely. I think
Saturday at 2:30 a.m. we'll replay all the action of this Division VI championship game between Mogadore and Hardin Northern, only on the Ohio News Network. So if you want to get home or from your home, watch it again, we can watch it again at 2:30 in the morning. That is one of the great things about the Ohio News Network. You can see it more than once.
More than once.
Well, there you go.
More the merrier.
That's right. 7-0 Hardin Northern. And the defensive unit of the Mogadore Wildcats have a lot to prove here. They've got to stop Hardin Northern in this situation and keep the Polar Bears from scoring here. It's going to be a major accomplishment just because they only have 31 yards to go.
The big pain, the big play. This is 3rd down. We used to call this money down, and hopefully they can convert the 1st down and try to put some more points on the board.
single back. That is Drew Snow. And Bruno brings him up, and he brings a man in motion to the near sideline. And here is Bruno to throw. Fires, and it is picked off. Mogadore has got it. Near sideline. It is picked off by Greg Lawrence. And the senior played center field and just took it away on that third down play.
Once again, the quarterback was very, very pressurized. The defensive end number 9, Ellie Oaks, he's providing tremendous pressure on the quarterback, forcing him to not really focus on the ball.
And he came in, and I think Bruno knew that he was in there, and then all of a sudden he had to just unload the football. Big pick right there by Greg Lawrence. Tommy Lee with the football, and he stopped in his own backfield.
Yeah, they're just trying to force him the ball a little bit too much. I'm eager just to see how many other people are willing to step up and make the plays, because they're focused all on this guy right here.
Red Thames makes the tackle on the play with a loss of 2. Thames was in the backfield before Tommy Lee got any kind of traction.
This defense is very, very disciplined. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
5-2 defense is put up by Hardin Northern. And now here is Molnar to throw, and he just sends that one up, and Wagner comes up with it. He breaks 2 tackles, 40, down the sideline, first down, and knocked out of bounds. Wow, I don't think that was drawn up.
Yeah, that was a little bit of luck right there. Hey, but you know, you need all the luck you can to win the state championship, and he threw up, and the big time player made the play.
Pass play, good for 20 yards, first down, Mogadore.
Just an easy catch, right?
That's what you want to see out of your wide receiver. You want to see him jump up and make the big time catch, and that's exactly what he did.
Michael Ridgway comes in from his nose tackle position to knock Wagner out of bounds. That is his 29th catch on the season, and his average, as you see, 15.8 yards per catch, and that's pretty good.
Very, very good. Anytime a receiver is averaging double digits on yards per catch, you always want to see that.
First and 10, Mogadore for the first time into Hardin Northern territory at the 45. And Lee breaks the tackle, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Snow's in there. So is Jason Wyrock. Boy, we have called his name a lot here in this first quarter, and rightfully so.
Once again, they're staying very, very disciplined. Everyone is doing their own assignment, and I think that gives them the confidence on defense to be successful as they've been doing all season.
Mogadore goes with that sugar huddle kind of thing. They do not come back and huddle up. Everything is called from the sidelines on second down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Again, the 5-2 defense by the Polar Bears are going deep. And it is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That's Wagner once again. He's the speed guy. We figured that out in the first quarter.
Well, I think the last play that he made, I think they're feeling confident that they can. There it is, out of his fingertips.
Very, very close to being a reception. And you think, you figure you're going to go to the well a couple of more times, especially when you're that close.
Well, yeah, I think they've seen a weakness right here that 85 can get open in the defensive backfield, and hopefully they plan to exploit that matchup a little bit more this half.
Twins on both sides, and it's incomplete. The pass is overthrown to Mike Roth. He is the 6'2 senior, and Charlie just let him a little bit too far.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think if he would have put a little softer touch on it, got it in the hole between the safety and the corner, could have been a big play, but he's getting a lot of pressure out of the pocket.
So it's going to be fourth down, and Molnar is the punter too. And D, you think about field position here. If he can pin them back within the 20-yard line, this will change the complexion here late in the first quarter.
That's something I feel like he needs to do. Harding Northern has been winning the field of position all game, and if he can get a good punt, so maybe the defense come out and be a little stingy.
Well, he hit it off the side of his foot a little bit. It went straight up and didn't get quite the results, but it does go down dead at the end, out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So Scott Pollock seeing his club struggle in this first quarter. They're the ones that have the experience. Hardin Northern is here for the first time.
Yeah, I believe
For Ohio State sports fans, Ohio News Network is your channel to watch throughout the winter. ONN will televise OSU men's hockey and OSU women's basketball games. Visit ONNnews.com for a complete schedule of televised games. As we are first and 10, and coming to the near sideline is McMillan, and he will get the first down as he gains 14 all the way up to the 39-yard line.
Little man is making big plays today in the state championship game.
5'7", 155 pounds, D.
Man, a lot of heart. You know, he said, I'm a little man, but I still have the heart to take on these responsibilities and get a win for my team today.
Well, moving laterally and knocking him out of bounds is Schumacher, the middle linebacker on the play. First and 10. This drive started at the 27-yard line.
First down.
This game is going exactly the way Harding Northern wants it. They just want to win field position, and each time they win, get 6 or 3 points up there, and it's going as planned.
Here's McMillan, and he gains 3 up to the 43. That's a broken bone a little bit, and it's not like they have a lot of misdirection, but they can run a lot of sets out of it.
Yeah, a lot of sets. He said he's running probably around 25 different formations today, and I think that's getting the defense off balance, and they don't know what to expect. They're getting the ball to McMillan as well as Snow, so I think that's keeping the defense off balance.
Eli Oaks makes the stop on the play, but it is Hardin Northern that has come out in this first quarter and taken charge of the football game. The Division VI state championship game. It's 7-0. Hardin Northern leading Mogadore, the two-time runner-up in the state championship.
It's been very easy to come to Columbus State and totally change my career and reinvent what I'm doing.
My primary reason coming back to college is to further my education.
I need to understand the technical aspects of running a business.
Columbus State is completely in tune with the business world.
The instructors have been out in the real world. They really know what they're doing.
I'm able to take classes sometimes on my lunch hour, after work.
This is a good place to come to grow.
It's going to open doors for me to get a higher paying job.
You got to do this.
I got a new job in a new city. I wanted to bank when and where it was convenient for me. Gary at National City took care of it. I've got ATMs everywhere, free checking, a Visa check card, and online banking. Gary understood me. But that's no surprise, because the people at National City don't see me like this. They see me for who I really am.
I'm Brian Spencer, and my bank is National City.
Hi everybody, Dan Franzak from ONN Sports, previewing our special editions of High School Sports Site for Championship Week. Only 12 teams are left fighting for 6 state titles, including the Dayton Chaminade Julienne Eagles. On Friday and Saturday, we'll bring you the live play-by-play coverage of all 6 state championship games. And then after the game, join us for High School Sports Site for the most complete highlights and post-game interviews.
Friday and Saturday, stick around after the games for High School Sports Site special wrap-up of all the action. Only on ONN, Ohio's channel for high school sports.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association Football Championships are brought to you by Grange Insurance, National City Bank, Donato's, and by Columbus State Community College. We get started here in this second quarter of action as it's Hardin Northern 7 and Mogadore nothing, and these two teams have switched sides, and now Hardin Northern just on one play. It's now 3rd and 6 as it was a couple of yard gain, but not much more than that. They're at their own 45-yard line.
Nate McMillan was getting a lot of, Craig McMillan, I'm sorry, getting a lot of calls right now. I think the 2 plays he made earlier gave Bruno some confidence to get this guy more involved in the offense.
And Pete Bruno, Sun play is out to controls. They put McMillan in motion towards the line, and here is Bruno. Good move to the 50 and out of bounds, and he got the first down by a half a yard.
That was just a special play. He could have threw the ball, but he seen the first down marker, and he made a move to get out of bounds, and that's what you want out of your quarterback.
Drive started on the 27-yard line. That was 5 yards by Clay Bruno.
McMillan made a special block to down on defense end to spring the quarterback out so he can be able to get the first down. So, you know, he's doing way more than just running with the ball in his hands. He's playing a good overall game. 1st and 10 from midfield for Hardin Northern, and they bring the Twins to the near sideline. McMillan is one of them. Split the backs this time, and they will hand off to Snow. Lost the football. Big scramble for it right in front of the Hardin Northern bench.
And let's see. And they have given the football to Mogadore. Tommy Lee comes out there with the football. Here it is, D.
And see someone, Tommy Lee went for the ball, stripped it, made a big play. So I believe that's what he needs to do, not only on offense, but make plays on defense as well.
And they're just stripping that ball there. Lee took it out, and then a big scramble for it, and it looked like Greg Lorenz came up with the football. So Lee gets the strip. That's the forced fumble, and Greg Lorenz comes up with his second turnover of the ball game, and they're going deep, and it is way overthrown. They tried to get the ball to Wagner once again, but it was overthrown by about 5 yards. So how about Lorenz? The senior comes up with the interception, and now the fumble recovery for Mogadore.
Well, I think, you know, playing your last high school football game, you need all the big plays you can. You want to look back on this game and feel like you played the best you can, and I'm sure the way he's going, he'll be able to look at himself in the mirror tonight.
3 turnovers in this football game, 2 for Northern, yet they lead 7-0, and Mogadore has turned it over one time as well. As Charlie Molnar brings him back up to the line of scrimmage. Lee's the only setback to put Twins to the line side and now Twins to the boundary side on 2nd down and 10. And Lee is stuck behind the line of scrimmage. Northern is, you're just not going to run tackle to tackle against them.
They're not going to do it. I think the defensive line is definitely winning in the war of the trenches. So to move the ball, the offensive line needs to start giving the quarterback and running back better holes and things to be positive yardage on.
5 shutouts already this season for Hardin Northern, and 2 have come in the playoffs, including last week in the semifinals as they knocked off Columbus Grove 20-11.
Any defensive team that has 39 takeaways, you know they're doing something good.
3rd down and 12, and they wanted to do the little flea flicker to Tommy Lee, and they couldn't do it because Roth caught it, but had to go down. Drew Snow was right with him. Look at this, D.
Yeah, there was a good play here, but the defensive back came up and made a good play right there.
I used to call that the hook and ladder play.
The hook and ladder.
And I saw, because they really wanted to make that move to Lee.
And I believe there, once again, if he would have made that completed play, McMillan was there to make the play.
So it is Molnar kicking the football away on 4th down and long, and it will bounce back towards Mogadore's offense, and it'll stop at the 23-yard line, and 9 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in this first half. 7-0 is your score as Hardin Northern has the lead. Hardin Northern has put the ball on in the touchdown, and here's the long run by McMillan. This guy really got this thing going. This 59-yard run by McMillan, that set up the touchdown by Drew Snow, and that is where we're at this point in the football game. 7-0 Polar Bears.
Once again, there you see Craig McMillan in the backfield. He's very intricate piece of this puzzle, so let's see what he does.
And McMillan gets the call, and there are 5 white shirts around him. He doesn't go anywhere. So Mogadore's playing some defense now. I mean, they're solid on that side of the football as well, and they are showing it so far. Mogadore has only given up 11.2 points per game and 181 yards total per game this season. So we've been talking a lot about the Polar Bears defense. Mogadore's got a good one too.
Yeah, this second quarter, I believe both of the teams are feeling very relaxed now. All the jitters are out, and I think everyone's came here to make big plays. We've got a nice crowd out here, beautiful day in Canton, Ohio. So let's just see who comes out on top.
Drew Snow is the only man behind the quarterback, Charlie Bruno, and he'll get the football. Tommy Lee is there on defense to knock him around along with Noah Schumacher, and they bring him down just a couple of yards out to the 25-yard line, and that is it.
You see Tommy Lee just reading his guards and tackles, and he knows where he's supposed to be at on the play. So there he is once again. Not only a huge offensive piece to this team, but defensively as well.
This is one of the smallest schools in Division VI football, Hardin Northern, and Mogadore is right there with them with only 115 boys. Mogadore has won a couple of state championships, one in '79 and one in '96. Bruno to throw. pressured. Now he's going to have to run with it, and he is going to be pinned behind the line of scrimmage. He gained, well, he didn't even gain anything. It was less than that. He's behind the line of scrimmage by a yard. So Clay Bruno was just running to make sure that he kept the clock going right there, I think.
Exactly. Mogadore, they're stepping up. They're stepping up their defensive play, and I think that's a key for their success today. So if they just continue to play very well and get some more turnaways, I believe that's the key for them as well.
Wyrock is the punter on 4th down and 9 from his own 24-yard line. That was a good snap and a pretty good kick. And it'll be picked up by Roth. Roth looking for a block, and he gets from Wagner. Now you go down the sidelines. He will get another block, and he is clotheslined by Wyrock at the 43-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mogadore Wildcats. We'll take a break with 7 minutes and 26 seconds to play in the first half. 7-0 Hardin Northern.
Getting the family together is like herding cats.
Simplifying things for families is a priority here at Grange Insurance. Raising a family is tough enough
without chasing around for all the house, auto, and life coverages we need.
We offer a variety of policies through Grange independent agents.
He showed us the advantages of having all our policies with Grange.
If you've got one policy with Grange, you ought to ask your agent.
Are we there yet?
I think you'll find that you're just getting started.
I am the pizza guy.
Donato's brings it to you.
The half-price pizza deal is keeping me pretty busy. It's a great deal. You buy any large, get a second large single topping, half price.
Delivery guys are good.
Oh yeah, I always get it there on time.
And it's not just half price, it's Donato's for half price.
Hey guys, I'm heading back to base camp for more.
Every day at Donato's, buy any large pizza and get a second single topping large pizza for half price. The Donato's half price pizza deal.
It's all about respecting the pizza.
Thank you.
Welcome back as we are in Canton, Ohio at Fawcett Stadium, the Division VI championship game. 7:26 to play here in this first half. One score, and that is Drew Snow taking it in from 2 yards out. And Mogadore is now on offense as Hardin Northern with this young man, Craig McMillan, who's played pretty well so far. There's the yardage in the ballgame so far. Hardin Northern with 100 yards, all on the ground. 59 for Mogadore, who has the football. The green and white will get it out to Wagner, and he was held on the near sideline. No call as he was taking it, sliding to the outside, trying to make that catch.
It was a great coverage by Kyle Dahl, the cornerback. I mean, he came up in his face, got a jam on him, and that's what you want out of your defensive back.
He was right there in where it's legal in high school football, and
it was a little gray, but hey, why not let him play in the state championship?
That's right. Nothing wrong with that. 2nd down and 10 from the 42. And here's Lee again. And he gained maybe a yard. Not much more than that at all. And Michael Ridgway makes the tackle on the play. Maybe a yard for Tommy Lee. Ridgway 5'9", 160, and only a freshman. That's impressive to play nose guard at a freshman.
Hey, that's what you want. You want some of your young guys coming into your program, stepping up, making big plays, and here he is leading his team as a freshman.
Line of scrimmage, the 41-yard line. Split backs this time. There's Lee off left tackle, and a couple, not a bit more than that. And Drew Snow makes this stop on the play. We talked a lot about Drew Snow on the offensive side of the ball, but here he is, 128 tackles, 42 assists, and 3 interceptions from his linebacker position.
I think for both teams, the running back is the main stud on this football team. So they're going both ways, making a lot of plays, and I think that's what both teams need out of those players if they feel like they're going to go off and be victorious in the state championship game.
Price and McMillan back deep. And here's the punt on 4th down. And a fair catch. And that's McMillan, the little guy, right at the 15-yard line. ONN is all Ohio all the time, and it's all online. Visit ONNnews.com for up-to-the-minute sports scores, school closings, Ohio headlines, and much more. ONNnews.com, your internet connection to news. First down at the 15-yard line for Ohio Northern. They have really done a nice job in field position, and now they are back deep. This is their worst field position of this first half.
Yeah, this is a good punt by the punter. Penn Harding Northern down in their territory, so hopefully they can just stay aggressive on defense and get the ball back.
McMillan is the ball carrier, and David Haynes makes his first tackle of the football game for Mogadore, and he was wrapping him up as he was coming down at the 21-yard line. So
I like what Harding Northern is doing. They're developing a nice 1-2 punch between McMillan and also as well as Snow. So they keep trying to keep him off balance, and I think that's what you need to do.
Second down, call it 4 from the 21-yard line. First time we've seen the full house in this series, and for the first time in the football game, Matt Price gets a touch. He's a 5'8" senior. This is his 49th carry of the season, averaging right at about 5 yards a catch or a carry, and he gets a first down.
That was a very hard run. I like the way he took it up in between the tackles, didn't try to dance too much. He knew the hole he needed to get to, and he went up there and very, very explosive and got the first down. I like that play.
Eli Oakes makes the stop on the play. That's the 5th first down of this first half for Hardin Northern. They hail from right around Ada in Hardin County, just south of Findlay. Here's the catch at the 30-yard line, and it is going to be short of a first down, and making the catch is Wyatt Thames. So Clay Bruno was right on the mark that time. Ginks it out to the 31.
A little misdirection, gets the ball out in the flat, makes the play, turn up yards. Tommy Lee's a tough player. He's there everywhere.
I'll tell you what, we were talking earlier that we thought Mike Roth was going to be the guy that was everywhere, and Tommy Lee's right with him. This guy is impressive on both sides of the football. Here's McMillan. Got a seam. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. Now to the 50. Makes a move. Gets a block. And he is all the way into Mogadore territory at the 40-yard line. Big play.
Big play. Big play. This little guy, he's stepping up at every part of the territory you went into. He's made good blocks. He's made big plays, big runs, and that's what you need. You need someone to carry this football team. And the little guy said, hey, put the team on my responsibility and I get the job done. And you see that.
29 yards on this carry, and it was just off right tackle.
Yeah, you know, the little misdirection, and he got a little speed to get out there, and he made a couple good moves and made big plays. That's what you need out of Craig McMillan.
8 carries and 113 yards so far. He set up the first touchdown, the only touchdown. He gets the quick pitch this time. He lost control of the football, and it is picked up. Mogadore has recovered the football. Robert Pickering covers the football for the Wildcats.
Big turnover, big turnover. Really, he had the momentum going on Hardin Northern side, and now Mogadore has it back, and hopefully Tommy Lee and his football team can get something going.
That is the 3rd turnover, the 2nd fumble recovery. Oh, what a hit.
Once again, Greg Lawrence was there as well as Tommy Lee. They're everywhere.
Craig Lawrence with a big pop. He's got a fumble recovery and an interception himself, and he sets this one up, forces the fumble, and Robert Pickering picks it up. Lee in motion, now counter to the near side, and nothing for Greg Lawrence this time right at the line of scrimmage. And we keep talking about this Hardin Northern defense and how tough they are, tackle to tackle.
Tackle to tackle. You can just see they're dominating in the trenches. And for any success, they have to be more dominant on the offensive side in the trenches.
That little misdirection went nowhere, and Brett Thames, he was all over it. Full house backfield. Both of these teams running out of the full house. Remember, this is Woody Hayes. And here's a catch by Roth. He's at the 40 and out of bounds. First down, Mogadore.
It's like the 2nd or 3rd time they run that play. They keep getting people open. The quarterback have the opportunity to make the easy completion that time.
Mike Roth making the catch. 3-step drop by Mullar. And, man, he had it right on the money.
That's what you need out of your wide receiver, not only to catch it, but it's so important to make yards after the catch. Roth is doing a great job.
1st and 10 for Mogadore after the fumble recovery by Robert Pickering. Once again, full house. Here's Lee trying to take it off left tackle. Matt Scholl opened up a little bit of a hole, and William Bryan was there as well.
Once again, you just see the Harding Northern defensive front just winning the game in the trenches, and that's, you can tell they dominate on defense.
2:56 clock running, 7-0 Hardin Northern with the lead. And Mogadore has picked up 3 big turnovers from Hardin Northern in this first half, but they haven't been able to do anything with it.
And that's what you need. If you have a fumble or anything, you have to capitalize on it. And to this point, they have not done that just yet.
Lee has no place to run. The lateral pursuit by the Polar Bears, very impressive. Thames is in there making the stop on the play. Drew Snow gets up off the stack. That's a tackle and a linebacker.
Well-coached defensive team. Everyone's sticking to their assignments. They're not trying to do anybody else's responsibilities. And that's what you need. You need to all come together as one. Everyone take care of their business. And that's what they're doing.
Last week, this Hardin Northern team had a goal line stand against Columbus Grove in the first quarter, set the tone for the entire game, and they've done it again here this afternoon. And here's the pitch to Lee. He's pinned in. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's wrapped up and dropped all the way back to the 43-yard line.
Defense is very, very stingy. And, I thought for a second he was going to be able to turn the corner, but everyone was right.